go. Jumping into our TvT and spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. Ooh, it is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our second round. And coming into this TvT, again, Cure has been looking pretty on top of this. I mean, I say that has been going back and forth with players like Byun, has been going back and forth with players like Gumiho, but always a treat to see. I'm always excited to get a read on Percival, though. Now, what I was saying about Percival in the previous series about how aggressive he is and how all-in he is often against Protoss, stand by that. I mean, we even saw that in the series. Those were the only games that he was winning, were 2 base all-ins. But against other Terran players, Percival, that is where he is willing to play more standard, more macro, more mid to late game. So I'm excited to see how he compares to Cure. For the time being, double gas. Double gas open out of Percival, ranks expand out of Cure, as Cure only opens up with a single gas geyser. So we have our defender and more economic start in our red Terran, and we have our aggressor and more, again, tech heavy start out of Percival. So Percival's going to be the aggressor, Cure is going to be the defender. And we'll see how our players turn out. Let's go. There's that CC on the low ground. Factory is on the way. From here, Percival can go Reactor Reaper Hellion. He can go into earlier 111 into Banshee play. You can go for early tank production. You can go for earlier Raven production. That's it. What I was looking for. With the earlier starports, you can go for early tank drop. True. Early tank drops are a thing. So Percival, he does have options available to him. He does move out. So far does pull away. Does pull away. Cure sitting up low ground. Safety bunker has been thrown down. So again, just being very safe, being very secure. Percival getting to his own starport follow-up. Is getting there. Trying to make his way into the main, but Cure is in position. Percival rotates, runs into the bunker. Oh, runs into Cure as well. Thankfully doesn't lose anything, does pull away in time. But so far, Cure defends. He defends, he keeps up with the rotations. Starports are on the way, here come the add-ons. We'll see if we add-on swap or if we commit. And if we open up Raven or Banshee. As Percival does make his way into the main, forcing his way in. Oh, can he get the? He can get the Reaper. Reaper does go down. Hellions are coming from behind. The Marines do get pounced upon. Nice big here by Percival, busting into the main base, and Curie's in trouble. He's in trouble. The boys have to be pulled. They're being pulled into Hellions, and this is about to get out of hand. Workers are going to be going down. And then one fell swoop, Percival, he busts in. He gets 9 SCVs. Oh my god. 13 SCVs go down. Can he get even more? 13 in total. Very nice damage here by Percival. Bearing in mind, Reaper Hellion does not scale well into the mid game. So a much better trade. And with that, Percival does take a lead. He's up by 10 workers. Cure is behind. Cure does fall behind. From here, it's going to be up to Cure to bounce back in this game with counter drop play, with counter harassment, or without positioning as well. Positional play is so important here in TvT. You can be down 20-30 army supply, but if you are the first to siege, if you catch your opponent off guard, then you can actually outtrade that and overcome that. Meanwhile, Percival with his lead, third TC is on the way for Percival, getting to his third base. Likewise, getting to his 1-1-1 into Raven production. I believe Percival, yep, he does have the Raven advantage, does have the Raven lead because of the double gas opener. Oh, and he does target down another SCV. Oh, he gets 3. 3 more SCVs go down, denied mining time. Still hindering the economy of Cure. And Cure, he might commit into a 2-base all-in. Like, because of all these losses, in a mirror matchup, it is difficult to recover. Not impossible. Third CC. Never mind. He is expanding. Cure, he is going to expand. He's going to try to play this out. Bold move. Bold move out of Cure. We'll see if he can bounce back. Getting his base on location. Meanwhile, Percival, his expansion is almost done. Again, Percival is still ahead when it comes to the base count. He likewise also is about to confirm the timing of the third CC.
SCV ready.
Yeah, pokes in, confirms. Oh, barely delays. Very nice moves. Does delay the CC, pulls away. This, I think, is a little bit... I was going to say unnecessary. He does have the Raven lead, so he can still pull this off. The goal here would be to disable the tanks. Disable the tanks, and if Percival can force a cancel on the CC, that's game. That's game then and there. If he can force a cancel... Oh, he runs into the army. There's a siege. Here come the disables. Does break at them. Does pull away. Nice tank bullies. Tank bullies going off. Percival rotating in. Can he delay that command center in time? Oh. He's getting close. Oh, SCV's within range. Fury pulls away. Fury pulls away in time. The SCV! Oh, SCV goes down. And no shot. He's within range. He's going to force a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. That is brutal. Here comes another worker. There's Disable. He breaks out. He tries to break out. He throws down to the line of turrets. Turrets get thrown down. He's going for the tanks. Oof. Tank blow is going off, but it looks like Percival, he barely has enough. He takes out the tank. Oh, barely not. Oof, but he takes out the CC. He gets what he wanted. He kills the base. It was a costly trade, but he does get it. Base goes down. Percival, he still maintains a massive lead. Tanks moving in. Who is Percival? If you're a bit of a newer viewer that maybe you haven't seen Percival before, Percival is a Korean Terran. He's been around since for a long time, I want to say, like 2018 maybe. He's been around for a long time. It's Percival back. I'd say he's been around for a long time. If you don't watch online tournaments, you may not be familiar. Percival, I think maybe Percival's made it to Code S once. I think once in his career. Like, Percival, he's one of those players that was always on the cusp of breaking into the, like, upper echelons of Korean scene, like, always mainly a Code A player, as in not making it into Code S, just barely. But he's been around for a long time. Oh, as we just see the mass disable, Percival, he does land, and he breaks through. He breaks through, takes out all the tanks. Ooh, shuts down the siege line. Again, very careful play here out of Percival, and he's pushing in. He's pushing in, he's going for the kill. But if you only watch GSL for Korean players, then you wouldn't be familiar with Percival, but if you watch online tournaments, like, he's often been there. And GG gets called. Percival, he breaks the natural, and Percival takes the lead. Whew. GG. Percival does take a lead in the series. Again, a very, very intense game one. It all came down to the early Hellion Reaper dive. Percival, he was able to kill, remember, 13 SCVs. He killed 13 SCVs with that first dive, so Percival took a lead from there. On top of that, he killed another 3 SCVs, and remember, Percival's win condition with that move out was if he could force a cancel on that CC, that was game. That was game then and there. He didn't force a cancel, he got a kill. He got a kill on that CC because remember, it finished building, it lifted, it was sniped by the Vikings, and with that, Percival does snowball out of control, does take the win, does take a lead. Strong start for Percival. Despite that, Cure is still the favorite player. Percival has been an up-and-comer for a long time. Percival, he did retire for a year. If you remember, he did retire for most of 2024, but he came back in December. Came back in December of 2024, like end of November, start of December sort of era. And Percival, he has been rising through the ranks. It's been great to see his growth as a player over the past couple of months in his return. And we'll see if he can bring down Cure, because that would be an upset. Cure is the favorite player. There's a reason why even the predictions in the chats are heavily in favor of Cure, because he is the favorite player here. But Percival, he's here to cause that upset. We'll see if he can pull it off. See if he can pull it off. But you've piqued my interest. Like in my mind, like Percival, he was very active during the COVID era of StarCraft. But when did he debut? Let's find out. Yeah, in my mind, he debuted in the COVID era, which would have been 2020. Looking at Wikipedia, he debuted in 2019, so just before COVID era of StarCraft, just before. Yeah, he was on Black Knight. I recall. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. Getting into game 2. Getting into Ultra Love. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, leading the series 1-0. We'll see if he can close it out. We'll see if he can keep that momentum going. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, the favorite player in this series. We'll see if he can bounce back and recover and force the ace match. It is a Cure. But if you want to watch more of Percival, I recommend checking out his stream. Percival, he does stream very often. He streams very often on Twitch. So do recommend it. Does stream often. He also has very luscious hair. To be fair, I don't know if he still has it, because I think he did conduct his military service. But for a long time did have very long hair. That's what I remember from his streams. Let's go. Otherwise, we are going to be settling in. And also, in my mind, he had maybe gotten into one season of GSL Code S, and I'm just double checking that because I'm curious if I'm misremembering if maybe he got into a second season. It looks like he got into one season. He got into one season of Code S. So I knew it was either 1 or 2, but yeah, he was in Code S for one season. But that's like, he's always been like on the edge, right? He's always been like basically like Code A qualifying match sort of player. On the edge, back on the edge. From here, though, we do have our own setup. We do have our double gas opener, double gas at a Cure, late CC from our Terran. Likewise, mirrored build. So if you recall, last game, Cure did go for a more economic opener, this time more aggressive. So we can now focus on our game, but we do have a more aggressive start. We are mirrored so far, which means this time, last game, Cure was the defender and Percival was the aggressor. This time, we're fighting for kind of map control. We're fighting for map control. Cure, he moves out. We do see Percival, he does back up, taking a more defensive stance. Cure does dip in, but we do have that defensive Hellion. Despite that, the SCV is not going to go down. Whew. Percival does hold. Percival, he does hold on, but no, he comes back. Yeah, he comes back, takes down the SCV. That speak off here by Cure. He gets one, he gets two. Gets two SCV kills for a Reaper. That is worth it for Cure. So he will delay the starport, will delay the depot. And remember, as we mentioned last game, Reaper Hellion doesn't scale well into the mid game, so trading them out for blows like this is worth it. So a nice start for Cure. Cure backs up, getting to his own 1-1-1. And from here, getting into his own biotank setup. Now, once again, it looks like we have a bit of a later add-on switch here from a Cure. So we do see Percival going for the faster Banshee. Sorry, faster Raven. I keep calling it Banshee. Yeah. The other one. Going for the rest faster Raven, so he will have a slight Raven advantage and slight Raven lead, which can be very impactful. Can be impactful when it comes to the main fight. Meanwhile, ooh, okay, rushing into a third CC. This is risky. Percival, he's rushing into a third base. He's rushing into a greater economy. We'll see if he can get away with it. Because of this, his main army is going to be suffering. He's going to have less Marines specifically. Less Marines, less Bio, less support, less tanks as well. As you can see here, just now going, I mean, there's no tech lab on the factory. So this is risky, and this is going to give Cure the opportunity to be aggressive himself. Oh, tank shot goes off. Percival falls back, but it is so important here that Percival is being active like this. Remember, Percival, he's being greedy. Percival, he's down in tank production, he's down in bio production, he's down in army. So what does he have to do? He has to kind of puff off his chest, he has to be assertive here, has to try to keep Cure pinned back and pull this bluff off. And so far, third CC. Third CC is on the way. If Cure had committed into a 2-base push, Percival probably dies. I'll be honest. He has zero tanks. Like, Percival probably dies to a 2-base push. But Cure, he's playing more defensive, playing more safe. He takes an expansion, and Percival, he is getting away with this. So risky maneuver here, but he's getting away with it. Coming into a longer game state, he's throwing down 2 more Raxes. Still no tech lab on this factory. Just now going for the swap. This is so risky here. Still needs more time. Like, Percival, he's getting away with it, but he hasn't gotten away with it yet. But with this third CC, Cure most likely is going to push when he expands. So, still a little bit more time. A little bit more time is passing. First tank is on the way. Let's go. Meanwhile, Cure, he has 4 tanks himself. Third base being taken. Percival, again, he's enjoying a greater economy. Scan reveals the army. Percival, he sees the tank count. He sees the third CC now also being landed. Cure, he confirms the third base is already done, as in it's already morphed into an orbital. So Cure, he now knows that Percival has been greedy. He's aware of the greed. He scans, he confirms, sees the production setup. Compares it with his own. So he should see, he should know, hold up, you already have an orbital, you already have your Raxes up and running. That means you have to have a low tank count. And yeah, he's pushing. He's pushing, and he's correct to assume that the tank count is quite low here for Percival. And Percival, he has to heavily rely on his Ravens. Okay, stepping in. Here come the disables. He gets 1, he gets 2, and he takes down the third tank. He barely might have enough. There we go, another auto turret, and with that, Percival, he breaks through the tank line, shuts it down, barely takes down those final tanks, and Percival, he will barely, oh, does he break through? It's close. The Vikings are landing. The tank. Oh my god. Tank survives. And with that, Cure, he breaks the army. It was so close. That tank was 1 shot away from going down, but Cure, he breaks through the defensive line. Boys are now being pulled. And Percival, he almost got away with it. He almost got away with it. He almost did survive. But alas, he has nothing left. He has nothing left. The greed here, he was so close, but alas, in the end, Cure, he breaks that army, can keep rallying in. Again, this is the army here. There's 4 Marines. There's 4 Marines left over. Up to 5 Marines. Gets a Raven. When it came to that fight, if Percival had pulled the boys with the main fights, then I think he would have been able to hold on there. But even without pulling the boys, like, he was so close to breaking that army as well. Like, it was a very hard decision to make. Here come the boys, moving into tank fire. Gets 1, gets 2 of the tanks. He will get all 3. It does cost him a lot of SCVs. He does hold, though. Does reset the Viking count, more importantly. Whew, okay. And Percival, he survives. Now, he's still in a rough position. He's down in workers, true. He's down in workers, but he does have the upgrade lead. He has 1-1. I don't think he can do this, though. Yeah, he's overextending. Percival, he overextends. He gets too excited. Loses another tank. Percival, he can't afford these losses. Not after that earlier fight. And that upgrade lead that he has, it's closing. We can see 1-1 on the way for Cure, and Percival, he has not begun, or he's just now beginning 2-2. Okay, so he's maintaining those upgrades. He's getting a 4th CC. Percival is still playing on a knife's edge, though. Has to pick up. Has to get out. So far, nice siege. Solid defense so far. As the game does slow down, and we're settling in. Now, quickly to take stock here, where exactly are we? We have an even tank count. Tank counts are even, bio count slightly in favor of Cure, Viking count slightly in favor of Cure as well, and the economy, of course, is in favor of Cure. So Cure, he does have these slight advantages over Percival. Percival, he still has to recover here. He is getting a 4th CC, but so is his opponent, so the 4th base timing is pretty similar with each other. Although, as Cure does find an SCV, and he is looking to contain. Gets 2 SCV kills. The goal here is to contain Percival, to delay the 4th base for as long as possible. We'll see if Percival can break out. Upgrades are currently even. Equal upgrades. Oh. You know, Marines, they do get into the middle line. 2 SCV kills. Percival, he pulls away. Oh, he gets caught out. Does go for the sim. Can he boost out? Oh, he's gonna set and fight. It does barely boost away, saving a handful of Marines. Trying to get his 4th base up and running. Now, even though Cure has all these small advantages, it isn't large enough to overcome like a pre-siege position. Percival, he can still take a fight. He can still take a defensive fight, especially. Ravens are no longer a factor. Percival running into tanks though. Yeah, it's not the fight. It's not the fight to take. Percival, he will lose his bio. Yeah, the bio army goes down. Again, Percival didn't know he was pushing into pre-siege tanks. And Cure takes the fight. Cure, he extends. Oh no! Get out of here! No, the tank! Oh my god. It's gonna be zoned away. Oh my god. I'll pick up. Does save it. And thankfully we had that unsiege in time. You could see that the animation, like pushing the tank and making it slide over. Oh. Yeah, too many losses here for Percival. Too many losses. Some really rough moments here towards the end of the game. Attempt to sneak up on Cure. Pulls back. Cure going into his mass starport transition into mass Viking. Again, air control is what you want here in TvT more than anything. Is that air control? Back. Nice Cure rotating around. He catches the tanks. Yeah, massive tank blow is going to be going up. And Cure is forcing his way through, takes down those 3 tanks on the high ground within range of the gases. And from here, Cure, you can just really expand. You can just really take more bases, more CCs. He has map control. He's containing his opponent. Cure is going to be the first to max. Okay. That's Percival. He will lose his Viking lead. Yeah, the Vikings. Not anymore. Percival does try to stim out, tries to catch out these tanks. Hey, he gets 3 tanks. This is technically an efficient trade here by Percival. True. It is an efficient trade. But it will cost him the Metamax. That's not as worth it. Bleeds out the Metamax. Still down in Vikings. He does sneak out top left though. Not bad. Does sneak out an expansion. Now the Viking count is double for Cure. So Percival has to be so careful with these Vikings, and he's getting caught out. He gets caught out. On top of that, with that Viking lead comes Ravens. Ravens are on the way with Master Sable. That is Cure's final form. To embrace that air army and get into all those Ravens. And that's how you break these siege lines. So this is where the soup does lie. Like, Percival's supply is close, but it's deceiving, right? Like, the reality here is that the army is stronger for Cure. Cure's army is more efficient. Oh, I say that does lose one of the Ravens. Cure, he does have to be careful not to fly over those Marines. Likewise picks up a tank. Now the Viking goes down. Percival, he's only on 3 starports, getting up to 5. There's this. Oh, I was gonna say there are those disables, but doesn't quite find his way through. Doesn't quite make it. More Ravens on the way. Oh, a bit of a miss rally. Some decent tank shots. Tank shots going up. Mainly trading bio. Viking count still in favor of Cure. Instead, Percival actually has more tanks. But as we were mentioning, like, the higher tank count doesn't really matter as much if you can't use them. That's where, like, the Ravens and Vikings come into play. Speaking of, yeah, disables popping up. Marines, they stim in. Nice, sends out missile. Missile goes up. Percival is holding on. Percival does hold. Curie does take his half of the map. Oh. Some okay tank volleys going up. Trading 2 for 2. Fire drop towards the top side. Percival otherwise distracted. Bleeds out a lot of SCVs. The SCVs are going down. Percival hyper fixated here on the main fight. Goes for the disables. He commits in. Oh, it's gonna cost him a lot of Ravens. But does break through those tanks. Not bad. Gets what, 6 tanks. Bleeds out all the Ravens though. An expensive trade for Percival. And Cure, he has more of a bank than Percival does, especially with those 10 SCVs going down. That does force a response. Jesus, how many Ravens? 12. 12 Ravens. That's the thing, right? Like, if we look at the units count here for a moment, Percival, he has almost double the tank count, but that means nothing. Like, the tanks are almost dead supply. Like, what matters here are Ravens. Like, Ravens, they disable the tanks, they throw down auto turrets as well. Like, the reality is, late game TvT is Raven versus Raven, and the Raven count is heavily in favor of Cure. Speaking of, yep, massive Sable. Likewise, Bioarmy does come in for a surround. Not bad. Percival trying to get a better engage. Auto turrets get thrown down. Percival, he's trying to break his way through. Trying to, and it looks like he will. Yeah, the Sable runs out. Whew, does take the trade. Gets almost a full surround here. That's the best fight that Percival could have hoped for. The best fight he could have hoped for is to get that massive concave. Cure did overextend. He will catch out these tanks though. Gets another 2, gets another 4 tanks. Oof. Yeah, that tank advantage that Percival once had, not quite there anymore. Does get a planetary though. At least trying to. As he's a little bit too close, bleeds out 2 tanks. It's like 5 tanks versus a planetary. Planetary does win. I guess 15 SCVs. Oh, tanks are unsieged. Percival trying to catch Cure. Just getting 1 tank though. Just gets the 1 tank. Cure still double the Raven count. And he stims in despite the armor missile going off. Disables the tank, stims on forward. Oh, it's not going to be pretty continuing this push though. Trying to force his way through, and he will. Yeah, he will be able to do so, just brute forcing his way through those tanks. And Cure, he does it. He has finally done. He's broken the back here of Percival. Finally, GG gets called, and Cure, he will tap the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Hey, yeah, GG, well played. We're going to game 3. We're going to that ace match in a very, very intense game. If you recall, a lot of this came down to the build of choice of Percival. Winding it back, if you remember, Percival, he did open up with a very fast third TC. He was very greedy. It wasn't just fast third TC, fast third TC, fast double eBay, fast double upgrades, faster stim, faster combat shields, heavily delayed tank production. Heavily delayed army production in general. And if you remember, we were emphasizing how Percival needed a little bit more time to get away with it, to get away with that greed. And Percival, he almost did. It all culminated when Cure scouted. If you remember, he scanned the main and he saw the timing of the 3rd orbital. So he recognized just how quickly a lot of the production and a lot of the orbital as well was for his opponent. So what did Cure do? He unsieged, he pushed out. He did push out. And Cure, he barely broke through. It was actually a really close fight at that 3rd base. But honestly, that was the fight that decided the game. Because it was in that fight that Cure did actually break through the main army, that he took the better trade, and that even though Percival did barely survive there, that he didn't die then and there. He did lose SCVs, did lose his tanks, did lose his Ravens. He lost too much in that trade where that any kind of advantage that he was hoping for, he did kind of lose. So he didn't quite get away with the greed, and with that Cure, he was able to gain momentum, gain map control, and snowballed from there. There were some nice moments for Percival after that. There were some nice fights, some nice trades, but not enough to fully recover, not enough to really give Percival the momentum he was really hoping for with that GG. With that GG well played, that leads us into game 3. Let's go. Here we go. Cure was greedy. I would say Percival was greedy, and I would say game 2 was a good example of what greed looks like. Cure wasn't really greedy in game 1, but Cure, he was caught at a position. If you recall, that was the game when Cure, he lost his first 2 Reapers and his first Hellion really quickly, and once he lost those units, then that was when he lost those 10 to 13 SCV kills. It was 10 SCV kills. But it was Cure kind of being caught out of position in game 1. Game 2 was Percival being too greedy. or hoping to get away with that greed. And that leads us into the ace match, and we'll see how this story ends. Again, this could go either way. This could honestly go either way. A lot of this is going to come down to the early game momentum, as we did see in both games, really. In both games, we saw the player that was able to get a lot of damage done early on did snowball into a win. Even though this was a longer game, he maintained that lead. We'll see where this takes us coming into the ace match. Now, we're going to be loading into Amygdala. Amygdala is one of the larger maps in the map pool. One of the larger maps. Because of that, aggression is a little bit more difficult to pull off here in Amygdala. I say a little bit, like drop play can still be very valuable, true. But when it comes to main pushes, they can be a little bit more, difficult to really gain value and get damage. So we'll see. We could end up in another long game. Could end up in another long game here. Let's go. This is when we just proxy 2 racks, which is a viable thing. we could just proxy 2 racks Reaper. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our red Terran player, our South Korean Terran, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid, fighting back and forcing the ace match. Momentum is on his side. It is a Cure. Here we go. So early SCV scouts are very uncommon in this matchup. They're very uncommon in TvT, which is why we don't see an SCV scout out of Percival, so my eyes are on Cure. My eyes are on this SCV. We have 1 Rax back at home, and are we going for a proxy Rax across the map? It looks like we are. Show us what you got. We have the minerals. Yep, there it is. So proxy Rax. So again, once we saw the SCV, we knew, of course, something was wrong, something was amiss. It's going to be 2 Rax Reaper. Now, this build from Cure is very middle of the road. As you can see, it's not a proper proxy 2 Rax Reaper because 1 Rax is back at home. It's very kind of, again, middle of the road here. It can do some damage. It isn't too committed. You can transition into a standard game from here. Now, thankfully for Percival, double gas. Now, the reason why Cure would do this on Amygdala, we did mention how this map is larger, so it is more common to see an economic opener out of the Terran. We see, though, double gas. So very aggressive, very safe opener out of Percival means faster factory, means faster Hellion, means that Percival should be fine. He will have the tools to defend. Despite that, Cure, he could still maybe get an SCV kill. If Percival goes for the CC on the low ground, we could maybe delay the CC. There is still potential for damage. There's still potential for some damage here. Percival checks the natural. Percival checks the gold location, checks the triangular third. These are the more common proxy locations, checking the low ground setup as well, but has yet to really confirm the linear third base. So Percival, he's scouting, but he barely does miss the proxy. And here comes Double Reaper. Percival has to be very careful with that. Oh, it gets caught out. Yeah, massive pickup. First Reaper is going to fall. Oh, and that's a brutal start. That's a brutal start. First Reaper falls. SCV goes down. And Percival has to pull the boys. He has to pull the boys here to defend. Boys are being pulled. SCV goes down. Hellion's on the way. And this is already a brutal start for Percival. This is already too much damage. Already too much. 5 SCV kills. The boys are being pulled to repair. But this makes it worth it. Now, bearing in mind that Percival, his CC is still faster than Cure's, but, I mean, now he lost 5 workers. Cure does take a worker lead. He goes back into the main. Percival out of position. More boys being pulled. More boys going down. Does get one of the Reapers. And Percival, he will finally defend, but losing that first Reaper was brutal. It was a brutal start here for Percival. Now, what's surprising to me here is Percival, he shouldn't chase. Oh no, he chased. He's gonna lose everything, gonna lose the Reapers once again. He will try to trade, but what I was gonna point out is that Cure, he's still staying on one base, he's still making more Reapers, he's still committed. He's still very much so committed. And again, Percival, he's just been a little bit too excited, a little bit too cavalier. Needs to be more defensive. And now Cure expands. A little bit off center, so we'll have to float on over. But Cure, the ideal, can he force a cancel? Can he force a cancel or even just get more SCV kills? Takes down the Reaper. Why not everything? Takes down the Reaper, takes down the Hellions. And this is game-ending damage at this point. This is game-ending damage here. Again, Percival, he did have the tools to defend, but he overextended with his Reaper. It was also unlucky. If you remember, Percival, he scouted the third base, he scouted the gold, he scouted in between the bases. He did not scout the linear location, so he gambled a little bit. He kind of flipped the coin, did not scout correctly in the end. And with that, it's led into this game state. We have 31 SCVs for Cure and only 17 for Percival. And even though Cure's CC is off center, has to be floated, has to be relocated, it's still faster than that of Percival. And GG. GG gets called. Too many losses too quickly, and Cure, he will take the series at 2-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played, Percival. He was caught with what? Caught with his pants down. He was caught with his pants down, caught out in the open with his Reaper Hellion in the follow-up as well. He overextended, did bleed out too much. Percival, I'm sure he just assumed that Cure, he was only opening up like maybe 5 Reapers at most and then backing off, or maybe even 3 Reapers. But Cure, he committed, and Percival did just bleed out far too much there. Too much too quickly. GG. GG, well played. With that, Cure, he will take the series and will advance on into the next round. But a shout out to Percival, because Percival, he was able to take the first game. He was able to make a series out of this. And honestly, Percival, he had some very nice mid-game in the TvT as well. Unfortunately, just maybe a little bit too nervous as well in the early game. I mean, we even saw like the more awkward worker split from Percival. With that, Cure does take the series. And now we can take a moment to catch up on the brackets. Let's go.